What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here today to talk Spider-Man Metal Marvel Universe 2021, but it actually came out in 2022 because the release schedule got so messed up. Just kind of want to talk, like what's pricing doing? Is it worth it? FOMO monster, retail component. Just kind of have a little wide-ranging discussion here on the current state of the old Spider-Man metal. So like, comment, subscribe. You guys and girls know the drill by now. If you're new here, subscribe. Come along for the ride. So where do we sit right now? Hobby boxes are going, I have it up here on the screen, basically between 500 and 600, closer to 600 in most cases on the secondary market. David Adams is still, and the big box retailers are sitting at around 700, I believe. I did not check that right before hitting record, but I believe they were at like 700 the other day when I looked. They typically stay a little bit higher than what you can get them for on eBay in most cases. So, are they? I mean, the elephant in the room is that the FOMO monster is running wild on you, and people are confused. Should they go out and buy $600 boxes? They look so cool. Oh my god, the hits. This is the best product ever. There's retail blasters coming. I'm going to go get in a fight in Target to get some $30 retail blasters. This is fantastic. Cards are great. And, the long story short is it just kind of depends, man. It really does. Are you going to get your value out of a $600 box? Most likely not. I mean, that goes with sports cards, Marvel cards, whatever. 9 times out of 10, you are not going to get your value out of it, especially at $600 a box. I did fine on mine. I'm still in the process of selling through the stuff that I don't want, but I paid $190 for my boxes. So, it is what it is. I'm going to do a full recap of everything, but it's probably going to take a week or two. I got some stuff running on eBay auction. I got some singles that I'm in the process of selling off. Once I get through a bulk of it, I'm going to do a breakdown of here's what I spent, here's what I got back out of it in terms of selling the singles, the content side, just the whole 9 yards. But that probably won't be till the end of next week at the earliest. So I'm going to do just fine on my 190 boxes. Listen, I pre-ordered for 190. I could have got them. I could have just flipped them for $500 and made $300 a box, and I would have been probably more up than I'm going to be selling the singles off. Am I going to lose money on this? No, probably not. Right now, I'm trending towards breaking even to making a profit, but it'll depend on how a bunch of eBay auctions figure out. So at $500 a box, $600 a box, it's a whole different ballgame. And is it worth it? That depends on you. It depends on each individual person. If you have a bunch of disposable income and you want to have a fun evening, rip a box, sit around with some friends. Some of the best moments I had this last week was being on the live stream with Justin and Scandell and ripping that box together. And then later in the night when Justin hit the Gwen right before we signed off, that was just like a really fun moment. Like getting together with your friends and doing that, if they're into it, would be fun. You have a YouTube channel, whatever. I get getting sucked up into the FOMO of all this, but just know what you're getting in for. You're probably going to lose money, most likely. But that's not always what it's all about. People focus on the dollars and cents, and I get that. That's a large part of what I do here in regards to cards and comic books on the channel content-wise. But sometimes it's just about ripping some cards open and having a good time. And if $500 to $600, if that seems like it's a reasonable price for you to spend, that's not going to affect your day-to-day living. That's a night out, whatever the case might be, however you need to justify it. Sure, go for it. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you think you're going to crack this and get a green Thor, which we'll talk about in a second, and sell it for $5,000 or $6,000, you're living in fairy tale land. Could it happen? Sure. You probably have just as good odds going to a casino. That's what opening boxes is. It's gambling. The truly best approach, honestly, is to probably buy the boxes sealed and just sit on them. That's the boring thing. You're never going to open them. But if you're just straight in this to, I want to buy some Spider-Man metal and go along for the ride, honestly, sitting on the sealed wax is probably the best bet. Does it have downside risks? Sure, anything does. Is it safer than ripping packs open? 100%. Is it boring? Yeah. It just depends on what your personal mindset is when it comes to this sort of stuff. Me, I can't leave wax laying around. It just does not happen. That's why I ripped the 5 boxes that I got and didn't just sell them, because I wanted to open them. I wanted to have fun opening them, and I did. Don't go crazy on base cards. Base cards, high series base, grandiose, golds, all that stuff. So there is a retail component, as we've talked about. These are the odds from the blaster box. Someone shared this with me on IG during a live stream on Friday night. That stuff's, the non-numbered inserts are not going to be rare. You're going to be able to find them anytime that you want them. And the way that this plays out, for those not familiar with Marvel product, Upper Deck released about 25% to physical product. 75% got held back for e-pack. E-pack, if you don't know what it is, I'll give you the real quick. It's essentially buying boxes and ripping packs online, except you don't get the base cards sent to you. They're all digital, but you could trade them in for achievement cards. But all the hits, in air quotes, are physical cards that you can have sent home to you, or you can let them live on ComC and sell them directly from eBay if you so choose. So what's going to happen here is you're already starting to see prices come down on the more common stuff. It's going to level out, and then e-pack's going to hit, and then all that inventory is going to get dumped on the market, and it's going to go down even lower. So if you just want to put a base set together, a high series set, maybe grab some inserts, be patient and wait. I would not be running out to buy singles of this product. The only thing that I would be targeting is if I was a character collector and something of my character comes up numbered or super rare, whether that's a PMG, a pink, a turquoise, a platinum portrait, whatever. If you want to make a play on that, you do you. If you really like the character and you want the card, get it for a price that you feel comfortable with. The nice thing about this product is, even if there's not direct comps because one hasn't sold yet, for example, I was negotiating on a red PMG of a character that I bought, which hopefully I'll have a mail day here pretty soon to be able to show it to y'all. And it's a character that's in 2017. So I know what the 2017 sells for. There was a recent sale not long ago. So we use that as a baseline and said, well, this is probably going to sell for slightly less than the 2017. I don't think there'll be a huge gap between previous years unless it's a first year PMG. And a lot of people get caught up in this. They're like, oh, only the first year PMG is going to hold value. They're just printing PMGs into the ground. And I get that. Yes, the first year PMG will probably carry a bigger premium depending on the artwork. What does the image look like in some cases? Some of that stuff could be a little swingy. But generally speaking, I would agree with that. However, the reason the later ones hold value is because, and I kind of talked about this in Sunday's video, shockingly enough, people actually collect this stuff and they want to own it, and there's demand for the product. Marvel card collectors are notoriously stingy with their cards. Once they get them, they don't let them go. So some of these things are going to go off the market and not see the light of day for a really long time. And that is what helps keep prices up. Even if they're not thousands of dollars like they were at the beginning of the year, they're most likely probably going to sit in a couple $100 range unless you're talking about an ultra key character. So if something like that pops up, you want to run for it. I get it. I'm doing the same thing. Let's talk retail for a minute. Blaster boxes, they're out. They're in the wild. I don't know that they're widely available in the wild. They popped up on Target's website Saturday night into Sunday morning, Saturday night into Sunday morning they popped up. They're $30 a pop. They were up for probably 6 or 8 hours before they sold out. But now everyone's aware of them. People got the bots running now. People are going to be clearing the shelves for them. They're going to be tough to find. Right now, blaster boxes are, where are they sitting at? I had it pulled up here. Here it is. This is the cheapest available right now online. $56 with free shipping. So there's one's cheaper, but they charge shipping. This was the cheapest one listed on eBay that I could find at time of recording, which is Monday evening. Are these worth $56 a pop? I don't think so. There's no numbered hits in them. You can get platinum portraits and stuff like that, but they are ridiculously rare. You'd have to rip like 14 targets worth of blasters to maybe get a platinum portrait, and that's if you're lucky. So it's mostly going to be non-numbered hits. You can get grandiose, you can get golds. There's going to be a yellow FX parallel, which If it's anything what I've seen online, it looks an awful lot like the gold. I hope it looks better in person. I ordered a handful of these. I ordered 3, which was the max quantity. I had my wife ordered 3, and I had someone else order 3. So I have 9 coming, which I will open all on the channel. I won't be flipping sealed Spider-Man wax. I'm going to keep my eyes out for more. I'm going to make the rounds at the local Targets this week. I checked my Target, my local Target today. It typically stocks on Monday. I am super rusty on the retail game. It's been a hot minute, but it looked freshly stocked today. I did not see Spider-Man metal on the shelf. Some physical boxes look like they hit in the Midwest. Typically, the Minnesota, Chicago area, for whatever reason, always seems to get product about a week before everybody else. I saw 1 listing with physical product on eBay, maybe 2. So there are a couple in the wild, but mostly right now it's still online, and those haven't shipped yet. I don't think we see them this week in mass. I think it's the following week. For those that are new to the retail hunting game, here's the way that this typically works. Vendors stock the stores. They have a set schedule that they typically stock it on. Not always. It depends on the individual vendor. It's not typically the stores that stock them. This goes for Target and Walmart, which means don't trust the inventory counters on the website and or what the employees tell you. This is a boots on the ground type of thing. Here's the other thing that you need to know. Sports cards at retail have been hot for 2 years. People have been making a lot of money buying it and flipping it. They have it down to a science. If you're just coming into the space now, you're entering late. I'm just shooting straight with you. Some stores have strict limits in place. Not all of them. It varies even by me locally. Some stores are like, nope, 3 to 5 per person. Some just don't care. So it's going to depend on the individual store and what your local store does. If there's no limits, it's going to be tough. Just to be honest, it's going to be tough. Someone most likely probably has a backroom deal with the vendor where the vendor is tipping somebody off for a tip, most likely, or a cut to let them know when they are in the store, stocking the shelves, and then they offload everything to them before it ever even really hits the shelf. Or it'll hit the shelf and the guy's standing there right next to him while he's stocking. They basically walk in together. That's the way a lot of this works. It sucks. It's the way a lot of it works. Honestly, like I said, I think $56 is a little too high for these. I think they come down. More and more of these are going to hit the market. If they're $30 retail, if you could get them for 40, maybe even 45, it's hard for me to say until I rip one. Once I get them in hand, I'll have a better feel for it. That being said, if you just want to rip a couple packs to scratch the itch, paying $45 for a blaster on the secondary market versus $600 for the hobby box, for a lot of people, that's going to be all that they could get. And I get it. And it's fine. Check your local card shows. Even if you're, strictly a Marvel guy, not big of a sports card guy, see if you have a local sports card show. A lot of the retail flippers set up at local card shows. Get their contact information. Maybe you could work out some sort of deal. Hey, these are $30. They're going for $50 online. I'll pay you $40. You don't have to ship them. I'll pay cash, whatever. Maybe you have to pay a little bit of a premium, but it saves you a lot of legwork, to be honest. Running around, I did it 2 years ago during the very beginning of COVID. I had nothing better to do. I chased retail for a couple months. It is a ton of work, especially if you have a lot of stores around you. Honestly, if you could get them for $10 over what retail is, and you just meet them at a card show and they just hand them to you, or you meet them somewhere, everybody wins. You don't have to do a bunch of running around, and they can offload some inventory for you for a quick buck. Would you rather get them for 30 off the shelf? Sure. But sometimes you got to play the hand that you're dealt. The biggest, most important thing to realize right now is FOMO is going crazy on this. It's on all the social media feeds if you're in this collectible spaces. People that don't typically rip Marvel stuff, I see ripping this product. I saw Loot Box rip it. I saw 502 Frank opened a box. I think Great Curator is going to open a box. He is in the Marvel cards a little bit, but I don't think I've ever actually seen him rip Marvel packs before. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that one. But I think he's ripping a box this week. Maybe even tonight. I don't remember when he said on IG. But you're seeing people that don't typically rip Marvel product. You're seeing people that are big Marvel collectors, myself included, rip it. I understand. I post a video on it. That's probably going to cause a little bit of FOMO. It's not necessarily by intent. I don't have a ton to gain by it. I didn't keep sealed boxes. I opened all mine. And I'm actively telling you not to buy the singles that I am trying to sell. So, once again, I don't know what that is. It's not a pump. Whatever the reverse of a pump and dump is, so if someone can coin a term for that, where I'm selling something and I'm telling you, you probably shouldn't go buy it right now, whatever that is, that's where I'm at with this right now. But the key thing is just keep in mind, make sure you keep yourself in check and just don't fall victim to the FOMO monster. When the FOMO monster gets you, it usually leads to poor decisions. Sit back and look. Okay, I could spend $600 on a hobby box to rip. Is there a certain card you're looking for? Is there something you would really like to hit? Go check the secondary market. Maybe you could just buy the card outright for cheaper. Maybe you just missed the boat completely on Spider-Man Metal. Go look at David Adams. Go look at Steel City. Go look at the other ones. Is one of the upcoming Marvel releases scratch your itch better that doesn't have the huge inflated price yet? Marvel Beginnings is coming out. That's a lower end product. It's not going to have PMGs in it. I'm not as familiar with that product. It will have some chase stuff in it. It'll have sketches. It's like $125, $150 a box, I think. I have 5 pre-ordered. I think they were $125 a box when I got them. I think they might be up to $150 right now. Are you going to hit $3,000 PMGs out of it? No. Are you going to have fun ripping packs? Yes. I don't know when it comes out yet because the release schedule is all screwed up. There's Allure, which is an MCU product. I'm not big on that. I'm completely passing on it. There's an Into the Spider-Verse set coming out. Once again, not my bag. I like Into the Spider-Verse, but I'm not into the cards for it. I'm passing on that. The other big one is Fleer Ultra Avengers. Those boxes are at $350. Will they get up to $600 a box? I have no idea. Probably not. They don't have PMGs in it, but they do have jambalayas in it. When that set comes out, will there be a lot of hype around it? Probably. Would I go run out and buy tons and tons of Fleer Ultra Avengers because it's going to go to the moon and you'll be able to flip the boxes or whatever for tons of profit? No, because I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Fleer Ultra Avengers, though it is going to be a fun product, it is going to be a good product. I don't know that it has the heat behind it that Spider-Man Metal does. One, because it's metal, which means it has PMGs. That brings a lot to the table. And this was Spider-Man, the most popular character, full stop, in comic books currently. So don't go crazy on Fleer Ultra Avengers. But as I talked about with Justin, if you're going to spend $600 plus on a box of Spider-Man Metal, are you better off just go buying 2 boxes of Fleer Ultra Avengers? I don't know. That's going to depend on the individual person. Someone asked me today, they're like, are you going to buy more boxes of Spider-Man Metal? And I said, no, I'm out. $500 to $600, too expensive for me. I'm done. At that price, I would just rather go buy Fleer Ultra Avengers. Once again, I have no idea if that's going to be a good product. I could lose money on that. We'll see what happens. I have 6 boxes pre-ordered already at $300 a box. I think I pre-ordered right when they first went up a couple months ago. But look at the other stuff that's out there. There are other options. If you don't want to spend a ton, go look at Marvel Beginnings. Go track down some blasters, even if you got to pay a little bit extra on the secondary market. But don't just fall into the hype beast that's going on right now and feel like your collection or how you collect is not worthy because you're not ripping a stack of Spider-Man Metal boxes. You got to do whatever suits you, whatever makes you happy, and whatever works for you financially. Every single person watching this video is going to be different and fall into a different bucket. But I just don't want to see people running out and getting burnt because it's really easy on social media. I'm guilty of it too. Show the cool hits that you pulled. Show the cool comic cut that you pulled. Do a 3-minute short video on the pack that had 3 PMGs in one pack. All that stuff gets shoved in your face. When in reality, if you watch the 2 boxes that I opened live, I got smoked on those most likely, especially the one. The one had J. Jonah Jameson, which I'm probably going to get maybe $50 to $100 for. And it had a Carnage Planet Metal out of 99, which is currently going for about $200. I have an offer for that card right now for around $200 that I am probably going to accept. One went for $400, then one sold at bids for $200 and shifted the market on it. So I'm probably going to end up getting $200. Those were the 2 hits from that box. Yeah, I got some other little odds and ends of things. I'm probably going to net out $250 out of that box. That in air quotes was a box I could have sold for $500 to $600. The second box, I whiffed again on my numbered card. It was a really bad numbered card, but I hit the comic cut. Now, I've had a ton of interest in the comic cut. I think I'm going to end up trading it. I have it listed on eBay for a really high best offer, buy it now, just to see what offers came in, because I got a ton of messages about that comic cut. But I have an offer that's pretty solid. We're just kind of waiting to see how things play out, and I may end up moving that to someone in actually a trade plus cash deal for a card that I want. But even at that, I'm still going to lose money on that box most likely. If I get a couple $100 for a few $100 for the comic cut, my numbered card's probably going to be $50 to $75 out of that box. You know, sure, I got a bunch of base cards. My golds and grandioses were bad as well. The 3 boxes that I opened off online in to be recorded, the one you guys and girls have already seen. That one I hit the Carnage animated cell. I sold that for $400. So I probably did pretty okay on that box. The other 2 boxes, you guys have not seen the videos yet. Spoilers, they're not great. I don't do super well on them. Once again, I do fine on them because I paid $190. When I'm saying I didn't do well on them, I'm comparing it to what current market prices are for a sealed box. So just keep that in mind. Not all these boxes are loaded. Not all these boxes are going to guarantee value. Very few of the cards are selling for extreme premiums. You have to hit a key insert and you have to hit a key character on top of it. I got unlucky. I hit an orange out of 25. I hit the worst character in the set. My turquoise out of 50, I probably hit one of the other worst characters in the set. So let's look at a couple high sales really quick. This is the Spider-Man Red PMG. This is the first one that I know of to sell publicly. I think some have sold privately. This ended up at a little over $2,000. There was a little bit of shenanigans here. Zero Bidder did sneak in here in the middle, but ended up not playing into the factor at all. They were in at $1,500, and then there were a bunch of bids well over that. So did they bump it up a little bit? Yes, but ultimately they had zero say in the final sale price of this. So this is the high series red, great looking card. This one did have a couple little soft corners on it, but that's pretty common. This is going to kind of probably set the market for a little bit in regards to the red PMGs anyways. On the green side, we had a monster sale. This Thor high series, which is a great image. It's the cover artwork from his first appearance journey in the Mystery 83, I believe, and went for $5,500. That just sold right before I started recording this video. So those are your 2 kind of like market setters right now in the secondary market when it comes to singles. Everything will be based around those for the time being, at least in the short term, for the super high-end stuff on the reds and the greens. To me, the overall biggest disappointment with this product is that the base cards are pretty beat up. I talked about this with Justin. The fact that most of my base cards, and I need to look through them again, that you can't grind out grading on the base cards really sucks. A lot of them have edging, chipping, rounded corners, you know, this, that, and the other thing. There's just lots and lots of issues with them. You know, if I could take a bunch of these Spider-Man's, Carnage, Wolverine base cards, send them in the CGC or PSA, and crank out 9.5s and 10s on some of them, you know, at cheaper bulk value rates, like a $15 CGC, or wait to see what PSA does here in a couple weeks. Do they drop a cheaper bulk rate that you can send for? That would be a way to get your money back out of the product. But the base cards on this are so messy in a lot of cases, that's going to be really tough to do. That sucked a lot of my wind, a lot of the wind out of the sales I had for this product, was not being able to grade. I love ripping boxes and doing raw to grade for Marvel cards. I just have a ton of fun with it, and I just don't think it's very viable with this product. I'm going to send some PMGs in once I get them in hand, some ones that I purchased on the secondary market, but I don't necessarily care about the grades on those. I just want them encapsulated. So that's my biggest disappointment with this product is that the quality control is better than X-Men. It's still kind of meh. Like I said, I need to sit down and kind of do another deep dive on some of these cards to see if anything can be salvaged. But as of right now, not looking great for at least the key characters that I want to send in. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. It's just like a big, long, rambling kind of where we're at with Spider-Man Metal. That's where I'm sitting with it. It is a fantastic product. Is it the best Marvel set ever? No, I don't think so. Is it way better than X-Men Metal? Yes. Is it one of the better Marvel sets? Yes. It's good. It's a ton of fun. Ton of fun. But keep in mind everything that we talked about. Make smart decisions. Don't let the FOMO get you. And we'll catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.